This is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we're going to work on a double strand necklace and earring set of Barbie jewelry. We're going to be using pieces from my Holiday 2021 Christmas Sage. This came in my Jesse James Beads November Design Ambassador Kit, and I think we're going to like it. And if you are a fan of Barbie, well, this is one for you. We'll turn down and get to work now. So this is the box of things, and I have put most of the things I want in this little baggie so that I wouldn't use them before I was ready for them. So let's look at these here. Come on, little baby. This little briolette is going to be on the bottom strand of the necklace. And then we're going to have this go like this. This is the bottom. And then the top one will be like so, with these two on either side. And these are going to be for the earrings. Then we will need to decide what color seed beads we're going to use up on either side to complete the necklace and the earrings. And I'm sort of leaning towards a white, just because it is a nice neutral color and won't interfere with anything else in the set. So let's get some seed beads out, and we'll start on this. Okay, I have changed my mind. I'm going to use these interesting, they're like a beigeish brown, because I think that'll complement these really nicely, and it will bring in the color of the briolette. And then I've added some briolettes over by the earring things because I want to make a double strand earring, and we'll have these on one strand and the briolette on the other, like so. So anyway, let's get our wire and stuff out and get started on these. Okay, let's get started. We need a loop of memory wire for rings, and we're going to start with the top loop because the bottom loop has to because the bottom strand has to hook in to the bottom one. So the first thing we want to do is get our memory wire pliers. And yes, you want to use memory wire pliers. I've already got a bend in mine from using it too close to the tip. You want to go back at least midway and as far back as you possibly can on your pliers when you're working with them, because this is very, very strong wire. So now that you've got these in here, just turn a loop on the one side. Oh, haven't got that turned all the way. There we go. So that loop is now turned. So then the next thing you need to do is get some seed beads out and start putting seed beads up the side. which is easier said than done frequently. Normally with a seed bead I would have just picked it up right from the mat with my wire, but the memory wire makes it hard to do that because it's got too much of a curl in it. And you need anywhere from, about 10, probably about 10 seed beads per side. That's 6. And there, with this last one, will be 10. Now you may need more or less. If you need less, no problem. You can snap them off because they're glass. If you end up needing more, it becomes a problem because then you have to take off all your regular beads to get to that amount. So next step is start putting on bigger beads. Now I like spacers, so I've got a couple of spacers here to put between the seed beads and the bigger beads. Baby. Boop, boop. Boy, you're being difficult. There we go. And there is this bit. Now we just have to put on the 10 seed beads on this side. And I've got quite a long tail here on this, and I will might end up cutting some of it off. We'll see. But you want about, a turn and a quarter of the ring memory wire. I think I have more than that. There's 3. Come on, twist around here, baby. One more. There we go. And now we can turn the end. Now, as you can see, I probably have more than I need because see how much I have there, and that's not going to need that much to turn. So I will turn this side, see if I need to cut any off, or if I may just decide to roll it around some more like a split ring, which you can do easily. Well, not so easily. It's hard to swing them around sometimes, but that is sometimes the best way to handle extra wire. Okay, I think we got it on there pretty good there. Now this one looks to be tipped inward some, so we're going to take our regular pliers and just give it a little teeny bend. And I think we're still just a teeny touch loose here, so I'm going to wrap just the tiniest bit more. There we go. And I think that's good. So the top strand is finished. So now what we need to do, I'm putting my pliers away because I won't need those anymore. Anyway, what we need to do is get some wire, some regular wire, and do a wrap on our little briolette. And then we will start making the lower strand, which is going to, of course, drop down here below the regular necklace. And for that, I have gotten some SoftFlex Extreme Champagne Fine. This is a little thinner than the regular, and I'm thinking that it will probably hang, as in drape, a little bit better, especially with the briolette down here giving it some weight. So the first thing we want to do is get a little German style wire out, and we will put this baby together. Oh, we have an extra bead, it goes up there. Okay. Some 20 gauge wire out, and we'll cut a little bit of that. I'm not going to cut a lot. I don't really need a lot. Maybe, I don't know, a few inches. So then we'll put that aside. We're going to straighten this out some. Okay, now we'll take our regular chain nose pliers, make a bend in it. About there, maybe. Put our briolette on. Now I notice this is a little bit crooked, so we're going to want to try and straighten it with our wire as we make it up, so that it doesn't go crooked on our necklace with the wire. So, okay, that is got that crooked piece in it right there. You're going to bring these two wires together, but we want them to come so that the briolette stays pretty. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to bend these up just a little bit. And we're going to wrap this one, get the briolette head out of the way, around a little bit here. In fact, we're going to wrap it all the way to the top, and I'll show you what we're going to do with it then. Well, maybe not all the way to the top, but quite a ways up here. What we're going to do is we're going to make a wrapped bail. Once I've got this wrapped the way I want it, then we're going to bring it, the bail, this piece of wire around in a circle to make the bail for this. So I'll take my bail making pliers. We'll see if this is long enough. May not, maybe, we'll see. Put it right here. And then we're going to bring this around in a circle. When we come back down, we will wrap it around the base wires that were right there. It's going to come around here, and then we'll wrap it back over to the front. As you can see, we've got a little bell there now. We're going to continue to bring this one around again. If I can get hold of it. There we go. Bring it around and wrap it around to the back. And then we'll clip that one off. And tuck that wire into the loop some right there. Okay, and this other one, we are going to bring it over here. And because our spiral, our briolette is a little bit crooked, what I'm going to do is make a teeny weeny little spiral right here to sit in front of that. Put the spiral right here in the very front, and there we have our wrapped loop. But this looks a little crooked, so we want to straighten it up some. There we go, our little wrapped briolette for the middle of our necklace. So now that we have that done, we need to get out some of our beading wire. Now I've chosen to use the fine in hopes that it will be lightweight enough to give it plenty of drape for this, and that the briolette will give it enough weight to pull it down, because we don't want it sticking up in the air. So cut the wire loose, and because this one is going to hook on and I don't have to close off one end, we're going to start in the middle of this and put our briolette on first, and then we will have our other beads going on. Put this on the other side and put these other 3 beads on. Oh, 4. Yep, there we go. And that's how the bottom is going to look, and it's going to hang down below this other necklace, just like a 2-strand necklace would. And now we got to put the seed beads on. Almost forgot my spacer here. Oop, come on, spacer, go on. Now we had 10 around the top of the other one, so we'll probably need at least 12 to 15 on either side. Now I put 12 on here. I'm going to switch over and put stuff on the other side now. Then we will compare and see what it looks like. Now, we can have a little less beads because we are going to jump ring this onto here. We want to give it lots of as much fluidity as we can. So we don't want to just attach it straight to the rings. Though we are going to put the jump ring onto the rings. So as you can see, it will go right like this. And we still want, oh, probably 3 or 4 more of the seed beads, even though we are going to put in the jump ring, because it does need to come down just a bit more. So we'll put 3 more seed beads on either side, and then we'll see what it looks like. Okay. With the jump rings and I think we're probably pretty good right there. So let's hook this side back off, and we'll get out some crimp beads and we will crimp this off. Now that we have this all put together, we're going to want to crimp it. And because this is fine, and I usually only use the medium, you need a 2x2 crimp with the medium, but I suspect that because this is fine, we are going to need some extra wire in the crimp. So I'm going to get this started here, and then we'll put in some more wire to give it some more of something to hold on to. So we'll pull that to about where we want it, and then we're going to crimp it. Being careful not to get your beads because they're glass. Okay, and cut off the extra little piece of wire. Now it looks like this one is coming this direction, so we'll get it. I have to get you out of there. Okay, we'll cut that off. And now we'll cut the extra wire from over here. And okay, that seems to be holding. So we'll now move this over to the other side. Come on, baby, slide on onto there. Okay, over here. Put the other crimp, put it on the other crimp tube. Put it through. Now that we've got that down there, we want to put in our extra piece of wire so that we have enough wire. So let's do that. Okay. Need to make sure we're staying relatively tight, but not so tight that it won't bend. Pull our wire down just a hair's breadth more here. Again, we got a big gap here, so we got to be careful of that. Okay. Oh, that's a little bit bigger than I want of a loop. There we go. Now we'll get our crimpers in and crimp. Now if you wanted to use regular crimps on this, it actually even might hold a little better since excuse me, this is holding good. So now extra wire off. Get this extra wire off this bead. And there we have our second strand. Now you can see where that I clipped that wire at because it wants to stay bent there, but I'm pretty sure it will settle down after time. A little more. And now what we need to do is just take some jump rings and hook on to the loops of the other strand. So I've got some little jump rings. I actually have some really tiny ones, but they're in silver. But we're gonna put the silver here, though it's in the back, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Besides the So let's grab our pliers and put this together. Put through this little loop in the SoftFlex and then in the loop that's on this side of the necklace of the memory wire. Bring her up and about. Okay, that side's on. Now we're going to bring it around to this side. Put the other side on. And tighten it up. And there we have our 2-strand necklace. Now I'm not really liking the way this is sort of wanting to bend here, so let's see if we can get it to sort of settle down there. Okay. And there's the necklace, and now we still have to make the earrings, but the necklace is finished. Shall we get the Barbie out and put it on her so you can see how we can see how it looks? Here she is. Her hair is a bit messy, but that's all right. Put it on. And that's how it's going to look. Isn't that cute? Lay down flat, baby. So now we got to make her earrings. It looks like I could have made the second strand a little shorter, or even not put it on jump rings but connected it directly to the ring of the upper necklace, which we still could do if we wish to, because we could spread the little rings out just enough to slide it onto there, which I might do later. But right now it's time to work on the earrings. So here's our earring parts, and we need to get, we'll need some wire for the 2 briolettes, just like we did the original one here. And then we will need some eye pins to do the this side. Excuse me, not eye pins, but head pins. So let's get some of those things out and get started on this. Okay, I have did decide to take the jump rings off of here, and I spun the little wires through the circles of the memory wire, and so now it's hanging a little closer. And there we go for the double strand necklace. And I did make one of the earrings. As you can see, it's a double earring. These are definitely going to be shoulder dusters. But let's get started on the other earring. So we want to just string it up with the and then I think we have 3 of the little Tohosi beads. Come on, baby. And then all we want to do is make a little wrapped loop up here at the top. Now, I usually use my bell making pliers, but I want a very small one, so I'm just going to use my little round nose pliers here. And we will wrap this baby up. And cut off our extra wire here. Do a slight tuck, being very careful not to bonk your beads because they are glass. You don't want them to break. So there's the one side, and now we have to do the wire wrap on the briolette, just like we did on the little necklace and on this earring. So we need to cut some more 22 gauge wire. So we get a little wire out, oh, I guess about this much. Straighten it up. Do a bend. That's probably good. Slide our briolette on. Bend again. Bring them together. Our crossways bends. Pull it together again. Hold them here and wrap. Now this one wraps all the way up the length of it, or well, pretty much anyway. And as soon as we get this up here, then we're going to do the bend to make the loop here. And I think we have about enough right now. But I also notice that I've got this bent, so we want to straighten that back out. Now get our small bell making pliers, the smallest one, and then we want to start wrapping this around till it comes out this side and more or less meets right here. Okay, now that we've got that done, what you need to do is take your smaller of your two tails and wrap it around once or twice around the whole thing. So let's just do that. 1, 2, okay, pull these out, trim this baby off. And tuck it in. Okay, then we want to make sure our little spiral is straight on. It's not, so let's get it straightened. And then we're going to take the other one and we're going to want this to lean back this way some, so let's move it. There we go. Now we're going to take this other side here and we're going to cut off part of it so we can make a little spiral to go in the front. We don't want it to be atrociously long, so we want to cut part of that wire off there. So now that we've got that done, we need to make this tiny little spiral. So we'll just take and make a little tiny bend and then start spiraling by taking hold of it and moving it with your fingers. And once we get the spiral finished, we'll lay it down against the briolette, and then we will make a little wrapped loop top to finish this up. And there's the briolette done. Okay, now that we have the spiral onto the briolette, the last step is to make a little wire wrapped loop up at the top and then connect it all together. So let's cut a little wire. Piece. Straighten it some. Now we want a relatively good sized loop for this because we're going over the top of that wrapped loop that we made for the briolette. So we're going to use the second size of our stepped bell making pliers. Wrap it around. But now before we finish the wrap, we want to put the briolette on. So let's get that on there and then do the wraps. Now I think I only had 2 wraps. Yep, we only put 2 wraps up here on the other side. We don't want a big stack of wraps on here because we've got to put a few beads on and then we're going to wrap it again to end it. So we don't want a whole bunch of bulk here. So now that we've cut that off, we'll tuck this little tail in here, put 3 of the seed beads on, and then wrap again. So 1, 2, and 3. Come on, baby. And because it's going to sit on the this way, we're going to wrap to this side. So there. And now we want a little tiny one. We don't want a big huge loop on this because we're going to, this is the ending of it. So we're going to use our small, I've got round nose pliers that go around and make us a tiny little loop here at the top. So oops, she's wrapping on top of herself, and we don't want that. So there we go. Now let's cut that extra little wire off and tuck her in. Now the next step, now that we've got this done, is to make the little piece that it goes into her ear. Okay, so this piece is relatively simple. I'm going to use this little leftover piece. And we're going to take some of our round nose pliers again and just wrap around and make a simple loop on this end. So once we've got the simple loop made, all we have to do is bend our wire to make our so once it's we bend this so that we have a double loop. Most Barbie earrings are the holes are too big for just a simple cut. You need a little bit more, so you do a double one, and that takes care of that extra little space we need. So then cut off any extra. I have this much extra here. Tuck this back down in better. Give it a nice little squeeze. And then we have to open the loop up and put the two pieces on. Now let's see. Come on, baby. Now I have this one so that the briolette should go to the inside here. And I want the same thing on the other side. So I want to put on the briolette first, and then the second one, and then we'll close that loop back up. And there's our second earring. So now we have our set done. There's our necklace and our earrings. So let's put it on our Barbie and then we'll see how they look. Okay, here's the set on the Barbie. We'll stand her up and you can see it much better. And there you go. There's our Barbie with her fancy party jewelry on. Her hair's a little messy, isn't it? But let's see if we can get her to focus good there. Necklace, double stranded, and double earrings. And like I say, shoulder dusters. They're hitting her shoulders with those briolettes. So anyway, there's our finished necklace and our earrings. And we'll get some pictures of it and we'll show you later. Oh, she's got really messy hair. And this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, making a double set of Barbie jewelry using my Christmas Sage beads from Jessie James Beads November Design Ambassador Pack. And I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll talk to you later. Hi, I decided I really didn't care for the way the necklace hung, so we're going to make a change to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate it into two necklaces with the one, and then with the one that is on the SoftFlex, I'm going to put it on a little lobster claw. And so you can wear it with both necklaces or only one if you would rather have it that way. So anyway, let's turn down and we'll do that. It's a little necklace, and as you can see, I've spun it onto the little other one, so that's easily taken off because they're just like a split ring almost. So we're going to split this and take it off of here. And then we will put the one side on a lobster claw. Let's see here. Okay. So there they're separated. Now this is the one separate little necklace. And here's the other one, which we are going to just get a lobster claw and hook on here and make it be its own separate necklace. So let's get a little lobster claw out and we'll do that. Okay, so here is a lobster claw and the little jump ring that we had used previously that we decided not to use. So we can just slide this onto here. And the lobster claw on the other side, and get our pliers and close these up. And I just let that fall right off, didn't I? Well, we'll have to get that back. Now we want to make sure this is tight because this SoftFlex is very thin. There we go. I just felt the rub. Okay. So now that we have that on, all we should have to do is, since it's got a little loop of SoftFlex on the other side, is open the lobster claw and hook her closed. Now this is going to make this necklace be quite a bit longer than it was before because we've added all this extra length with the jump ring and the lobster claw, but maybe that's just fine. It just will make sure that her necklace has got some separation to it, which is good because it was pretty close before, which made it hang sort of funny, in my opinion. So let's put this on her and see how it looks. And there it is by itself with just the one necklace. And that still works great with the earrings because all of these components are still in the earrings. And if you want the second necklace, you just put it on with it. And that looks good. We like that. So anyway, this is how it looks now with the lobster claw in the back of the second necklace, and we've separated it into two necklaces. So now you can just wear one necklace, or your doll can just wear one necklace, or she can wear both. We will take some new pictures with these two necklaces separated like this, and there we go with one necklace, two necklace. And I think I like that much better with it separated into two necklaces that you can wear together or apart. So And this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and we've been working on a double strand, which turned into a two different separate necklaces, a necklace for our Barbie and a pair of earrings. I think they're really pretty, and now that I've got them separated, I'm much happier with them. I think they hang much better as two necklaces that can be worn at the same time, or like I say, you can wear each necklace separately. So anyway, this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, working with my Christmas sage beads to make a set of really pretty Barbie jewelry. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.